Hey everybody, Master T here, checking in with Awaken Within YouTube short. Let's jump right in on this topic that I started early this morning on that Monday morning check-in, and that was sometimes you need a checkup from the neck up. Boy, isn't it true? Let me tell you. I know it's a cute little saying, it's almost funny, but it's not. But it's so true. You know, a lot of us are faithful on seeing our primary care physician every 6 months to a year. We check in to make sure our body is doing well. We get the physical, as we call it, right? And we want to make sure that we check in on things before they go wrong, right? That's the whole idea, right? To catch things before they get worse, right? But what about the mind? The mind is such a complex thing. And you know what? Without this, the body is nothing, right? This particular thing called the mind and the brain goes through an awful lot during the course of a day, over the years, right? Emotions, feelings, and thoughts. Constantly. It's constant. And for some of us, it just won't let us have some peace. And for all of us, the subconscious mind is going 24/7. It goes through an awful lot. Throw some negative things that happen to us in the course of our lifetime, right? The losses that we have and so on and so forth, right? I really believe that we all should have a check-in, all right? We should all have that checkup from the neck up, right? Let's see a therapist before things go wrong. If you run a stressful life, and there's a good chance that you are, it's a good idea to check in with a therapist for sure. I know there's some stigma that's attached to it, but it's not as bad as it used to be. I'll tell you a quick story. You know, when I first got into recovery and healing, and I put that drink down, I literally didn't know who I was. I was a mess. It was the best thing I ever did was to go see a therapist. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed, but I went anyways. I used to park my car behind the therapist so no one see Master T's car in front of a therapist, right? Because what are my students are going to think and the parents are going to think. I used to do the same thing in an AA meeting. I used to park my car in the back so no one would see my car in front of a church during the day at an AA meeting. What are people going to think of me? And I mentioned that once to a group, an AA group, and a woman just looked at me, an older woman, and looked at me and she says, you're embarrassed and you're ashamed of being in an AA meeting trying to get some help for yourself, right? You're worrying about what people are going to think. Did you ever worry about what people or your students were thinking when they seen your car in front of one of those crap holes that you used to drink at? I didn't know what to say. Stopped me in my tracks. It was a great lesson from that woman. I'll never forget her for sure, right? Please don't let stigma stop you for getting some help. We all need help. There's nothing wrong with it. I hope to see you soon. Enjoy your day.